My hair looks like this now. Not what I wanted. Actually, it is kind of what I wanted. It's not fully dry yet, so I don't know the final product like fully. This is the type of vibe that I was trying to go for. You know, back when I had purple and blue hair. But this hair dye that I'm trying to get rid of is quite frankly really shit. So every time I dye my hair, it doesn't like really work properly. But I'm so cheap that I just keep using it because I don't want to waste it, and I keep putting it in my hair when it's just not working. Today, I'm going to talk about my very first job in inspiration of my current newest series that I have made on my most previous workplace. If you have not watched this series yet, it is linked below. Go and watch it. It's a really fun time. I think there's about 5 or 6 episodes now that you can watch, and it's just a really fun time. Yeah, so I just wanted to, in like inspiration of that video, those videos, I just wanted to make a video about my first initial job that I've ever had. Now, okay, can we just ignore this dot on my chin? Like, I've tried so hard to cover it up, but it's just not working. It's just not working, and I don't like it, and it's just not happening for me. I've put color corrector on it, I've put foundation and 2 loads of concealer. It's not working. So does that look better? Alright, let's just leave it like that. We'll let it set, because you're meant to like let it sit and then you can cover it up more. We'll just see how that goes. Anyway.
A few moments later.
See, it's just like, why it won't work. This makeup look that I am going to create will be inspired by Ariana Grande's new song in collaboration with Lady Gaga, Rain on Me. Here is a picture of the makeup look I'm going for. And I just wanted to put a disclaimer that I don't have white eyeliner yet. I've ordered it and it's been about 4 weeks now and I still don't have it, so we're gonna do navy blue. I've never done graphic liner like this before, so I don't know if this is gonna look terrible. Whatever. Anyway, I worked for a pet store from the age of 14 and 9 months to the age of 18 and a half, I don't know, and it was hell, honestly. Like, I had the worst memories from that building, even more so, you know, my last previous job. Obviously that was traumatizing, but this first job that I had was the most traumatizing. These are the stories that still affect me to this day, and I've never gotten over them. I'll be honest and say I've probably never really forgiven my previous manager for all the shit she said to me and the way she made me feel. Like, so basically this lady was really not nice. She'd constantly like put me down and pull me aside and tell me all the things that I was doing wrong. This one time I was packing rabbit food into smaller plastic bags, so there was a 20-kilo bag and we had to pack it into like 4 or 5 kilo bags for example. And this is embarrassing. I was young and I was going through a lot, and that particular day I was really not in the best way, so I accidentally spelt rabbit wrong. I spelt it with 1 B instead of 2 B's, and she cracked it at me. Like, she got so mad. It was something that could have easily been fixed as well. Like, I could have literally just added another B. But no, she made me unpack everything that I packed, and she made me do it all over again. And she would ask me things like, oh, if you were a customer, would you buy this? Quite frankly, I would, bitch. Like, does the rabbit food taste differently if it's spelt with 1 B or 2 B's? I don't think so. So yes, bitch, I would probably buy it still.
So if you fuck me over, you got to go. You gotta walk out that door, baby. You have a one-way ticket to get the fuck out of my lifeville, okay? And that's on period.
But she just made it such a big deal. And she made me start again when I didn't have to start again. I could have just added a B to every little bag that I did. And mind you, it wasn't just 4 5-kilo bags. It was like 5 2-kilo bags and 2 5-kilo bags. And this took at least 30 to 40 minutes to actually complete this task. The fact that she made me do it again after all that time I spent on it is like dumb. That's her wasting her time and money by making me do it all over again. So this was probably back in 2015. Those were the hardest times in my life. Like, I had shit going on with my mom, shit going on with my dad. I was in a really toxic friendship. I was like really not okay. I'm doing it, but it's like really not great at the moment. So she just like constantly pull me aside and tell me off for stupid little things like that. And her most famous phrase that I just can't get out of my head is, "Would you buy this if you were a customer?" Like, just the way she would say that to me, it was like just so rude. She made me feel so useless and small and pathetic and dumb. Like, I would go home feeling so upset and so worthless because she made me feel like I couldn't do the simplest of things. And I would tell her at work, I'd be like, "I'm going through a really tough time at school. Like, I just lost my best friend, and this was the friend that like I was having a toxic breakup with." And like, she'd understand for one day, but then the next day it's like she would tell me, "Oh, don't bring your problems to work," and stuff like that. When it's like, if you were going through what I was going through at that time, you wouldn't be saying that. Because if you've got, you know, if you got family troubles, if you got friendship troubles, you're constantly depressed and alone at school, you are going through self-harm, you know, all these problems, and you're telling me to just put a brave face on and work harder and be a better employee because what I'm doing now isn't good enough. And I've always wanted to confront her about it, but I never have, because what if I was the manager and I did that to someone and then they tell me that I've destroyed their life, that I've traumatized them forever? If I were her, that would hurt me so much if I knew that I did that to someone else. So I decided never to say something. There was also a time like when I was stocking the shelves and, you know, I was going as fast as I could because I knew that she'd be watching me and judging me and my performance. Like, it was all up to her basically. I had to impress her because if I didn't, she was gonna yell at me, and so that pressure was like intense. So I was doing my best. I was going as fast as I can, and as I'm like jogging up to the counter to get the next lot of items, something falls off the trolley. Like something, like a net, like a fishing net or something, like just falls off the trolley. And I was at the end of an aisle and she was at the other end of the aisle looking at me. And as it dropped to the floor, I turned because I just could sense that she was looking at me. And there she was, shaking her head at me like this. Like, I dropped something on the floor, for fuck's sake. Like, do you have to shake your head at me? Like, obviously it's an accident. Obviously I didn't mean it. Obviously I didn't grab the item and throw it on the floor myself. Like, it's just not called for. Not only was I going through a hard time at school, I also started my vet nursing at this time as well. So I was doing placement, which is like a training, physical training at a vet clinic, I guess. And at the vet clinic that I was working at as a student, they didn't treat me nicely either. So like that added to the whole feeling of being useless and worthless and all that stuff. I will make a second video about my placement days as a nurse. Yep. So that'll be in a future video. But anyway, I was going through that as well. So it was just like the worst time in my life. Like those 3 years that I was working at this pet store, worst times of my life. Worst times of my life. I dreaded going to work, and to top it off, because I was still at school, you know, I'd go straight from school to work. I'd go straight from crying at school, being depressed, hating school, having fights with my friends, straight to work, where my boss would yell at me and tell me I'm worthless and like can't do my job properly, like, and she expects me to just like put on a brave face and be okay. Like, I would literally cry while stocking the shelves. I wouldn't do it in front of anyone, but like I'd be facing a wall and I'd be crying. And she's also the reason why I self-harm so frequently, because she made me feel so useless. And every time she had a go at me, I would go in the toilets, I would cry, and I would call myself so many names because I just felt so stupid for everything that I did wrong. And I would hurt myself because like it was punishment for being so useless and so worthless. This isn't a good idea, doing this video and trying to do my makeup at the same time. Oh my god, my boyfriend's here. Fuck. If you guys hear some music in the background, it's just my boyfriend playing his guitar. So yeah. It's kind of funny because this isn't the happiest video and he's playing like sad music in the background. Anyway, so he came home. Obviously he didn't know like I was crying or whatever, so I just continued my makeup. As you can see, I'm back, I'm refreshed. Where was I? Okay. So yeah, I would go toilet and I would hurt myself because like I just felt useless, and that was my punishment for being useless basically. So this went on for many years. It went for the whole time that I was working there, so 3 years. This went on for 3 years, and I constantly had to feel like this for 3 years and deal with this for 3 years, and it was terrible. I didn't quit because I wanted to prove to her that I am so much more than she thinks. So I convinced myself to stay because I wanted to show her how amazing I can be. I wanted her to feel bad for yelling at me and making me feel like shit, but so I stayed. Then something happened at work that turned into something so much more. So it was a quiet day at work. It was a weekend shift. I'd completed all my jobs. I was still working in between this thing that I was doing. All up, the time I spent on this was about 10 minutes, and it was like a 5-hour shift. It just turned into this massive stupid thing. Anyway, so on this particular shift, I created this artwork. How I made this artwork was I got the paper receipt from the EFTPOS machine, and I'd put it on the heater and I'd heat the paper up, because for some reason when you put the paper on the heater, the paper turns like blue, and I wanted to make something cool out of it. So I would like burn the paper on the heater. But like when I say burn, I don't mean on fire, I mean like melt, because it's not normal paper. Like it takes a lot for it to actually burn and light up into flames. So it's not like I was trying to burn the paper because I wanted to see flame. I was burning the paper because I wanted to create this artwork. Anyway, Anyway, and then one of the girls that I was working with, she'd only started 6 months before this happened, so I was more experienced than her, but she was older than me, so she was in charge. And she told my manager that I was burning receipts on the heater. She made it out like I was trying to set the place on fire. So she pulled me aside, the manager, like the very next day, and she asked me, she said, "Lauren, were you burning receipts on the heater?" And I wasn't gonna lie, I said yes, I was. And then she started accusing me of like terrorist acts, like I was intentionally trying to burn the place down. So I don't know where she got that idea from, but anyway, so this incident, and I know it was stupid of me, I know that I probably shouldn't have done this, but this incident was the start of my downfall and the start of my resignation from that place. On that day, I got a written warning and all my shifts were cut. If I was lucky, I would get 1 shift a week. It was clear at this point that she just didn't want me there anymore. Like, if someone cuts your shifts over something like that, it's clear that they don't want you there. And that's definitely the vibe I was getting, like the way she would approach me and ignore me. Like, it was clear that she just didn't want me there. So I quit basically, and the gross thing about it is the day that I walked in with my clothes, she hugged me, and it was like, I hate the fact that she hugged me and I hugged her back, because I was just like trying to be nice, and I got like emotional in that time because like I'd been there for 3 years, my first job, I've had so many memories there, so like I was a bit upset. And so this was like a video about the worst time in my life. Sorry if I'm talking so quietly, the boyfriend is here and I don't want to be loud. I get really embarrassed when people like know that I'm filming or they're in the same house as me. Like, I don't feel comfortable to talk very loud. Just trying to pack that highlight in. My hair is getting dry. I don't know. I like how it has a little bit of pink in there still. A bit of variety. But yeah. It's good that the yellow parts are now grey because of the purple, so I guess that's good too. I don't know. Anyway, I'm just gonna finish my eyebrows and my lips and my mascara. And then I will come right back. I'll be right back. Once again, your girl snapped. She snapped. What do we think? One thing I want to know is that my eyes, they're both different shapes, so I can never ever get anything even. Also, this eyebrow is like higher than the other one, so like, but if I go like this, it's even. If I just relax, it's not. Now I feel self-conscious about my eyes. Let's just end the video. Thank you for watching this intense video. I'm sorry that I got emotional. It just happens sometimes. If you have any questions or like you want to know more about something specific in my life, feel free to leave it below and I will make a video about it. You just gotta let me know. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Would love that. It would be amazing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Please make sure to like and comment. I hope you are all smiling until your cheeks hurt, and I hope that you're all having a lovely day wherever you are in the world. And I will see you in the next video. Bye. Bye. Why am I getting aggressive? Bye.